So I've just finished inoculating 3 plates. We started off on plate number 1, and in the meantime I filled the rest of it up, as well as plate 2, and I ended up with a full plate of toothpicks like this. And pretty much just to get rid of them, I'll just run through these real quickly. So I'm going to grab a couple, or maybe sometimes you can only get one at a time. And you just got to try to take out all the toothpicks, being very, very careful not to have them fall over, because it's very easy to do that. Now, sometimes the toothpicks will all be at the same angle. It actually makes getting them out a little bit easier, because they just kind of reach over and you can grab them. So I'm just going to kind of do this. You can see my toothpick stock that I've already made. So it's a lot of samples. We have 3 96 well plates, so about 300 different loans. And again, just kind of going through this to show about, I'm going actually a little bit faster than I should, just because I want to get through this real quick. But, you know, you should be doing this very carefully and very slowly, again, because if one of these double dips, that will screw up the results, and you have to then keep track of which well you double dipped, and it's just a huge headache, and sometimes it can give you results that you think are good, but actually it's because you have contamination. And that's just really disappointing. You don't want to go through that kind of an emotional roller coaster when you've been spending like 5 hours picking and prepping and cloning. It's just no good. So we are almost done, and I've kind of gone in kind of a random pattern here. Usually I'm a little bit more methodical, try to pull out 2 at a time, but I guess I was just kind of rambling and not really thinking about what I'm doing, which you'd never want to do, even when you're doing kind of the routine lab work. So, just a couple more last little 6 of this. And so what's going to happen after this is that we've inoculated each one of these wells, and we're going to grow it up in the incubator for a little bit, so maybe like 6 hours or so. And then we're going to stamp off of this. That means we're going to take a pin tool, a 96 well pin tool. You can imagine that the pin tool is just a bunch of little toothpicks that are going straight down. And then we can stamp that pin tool into there, which is gridded so that it'll line up with these wells. And then we'll have a bunch of culture on that, which we can then stamp into 96 well blocks. But we need the culture inside of here to become a little bit more dense with bacteria. So we want to put this in the incubator, but if we just throw these in the incubator, we're going to get a ton of evaporation, and that's just not good. So when it comes to growing, we're actually going to wrap these in cellophane. So I'm going to clear off a little bit of space here. My toothpicks away, and I can turn off my flame because everything's all closed. It's all back. And grab my cellophane, and open it up, put it on my bench, and try very gently to cover it. And then we have a nice long strip, and we're going to place our 96 well plates in the center, or just up from the center, so that we can fold this guy around. It's almost like wrapping a birthday present or something. You just want to bring this one all the way around and kind of seal it on that side. And then I like to seal it at the bottom as well. And then we just do the same thing on this side. We'll bring this one all the way over, which is now going to seal that first fold that we made. Bring this open, and then, I don't know if you can see that, turn that around, I'll fold it here. Another thing I probably should have mentioned earlier is that I labeled it, so I have my own little labeling scheme, Roman numerals 2, Roman numerals 3, and Roman numeral 4, so I know what plates are what. And then I'm just going to lift that up, fold that little tab of cellophane down underneath. And so now we're wrapped really well this way, and now we just got to seal off this end. So again, like a Christmas present, I just kind of jam that down there, and kind of grab a box if you want to get a good corner and jam it like that, and then bring it to the corner, sides. And then the cellophane is kind of in place how we want it, and then we just kind of tape it up. So I just tape around the side, and that's just to hold the cellophane steady. And this is going to prevent too much evaporation from taking place while this is cooking in our incubator. There still is a little bit of air that can get through, but it just minimizes it. And then last couple, and you want to keep this side up because otherwise you might spill the culture. So just one more piece. And now we're good to go. So we can move this side over to the incubator. And we'll be back for it when it grows up. We just come back and stamp it into some 96 well blocks before we go home, and then let those grow overnight, and that will be our selection.